sharing and giving, taking, receiving. The Buddhas and great masters, teachers, teach us how to realize and how to share love and kindness, compassion, and wisdom. These beautiful qualities are inherent within us, if you believe it yourself. The life stories of great masters show us how they manifested all of these amazing qualities and how they taught and inspired others to manifest the same qualities. So our goal is to realize these qualities in order to benefit other sentient beings. Whenever you feel love and kindness, compassion, you are in touch with your nature. And that is really, I think, beautiful. Therefore, whenever you're going to listen to the teachings, or whenever you are about to start a meditation session, it is very important to establish your motivation, touch your Buddha nature, and think about the suffering of others so that you can generate your love and kindness and compassion. It comes back to you. You are not going to lose it, your qualities. People think like when you think about sufferings of others, you are going to suffer too, but that's not true. You generate your love and kindness and compassion. The mind is very powerful, very, very powerful, either way, positive or negative. So you cannot let your mind, if you are an ordinary person, you cannot let your mind do whatever it wants to do until your meditation, the actual meditation and post-meditation are not different. At that point, everything will be meditation. Your life is meditation. But you also cannot sort of control the mind right away. So you need a good good methods and good foundation. So again, shamatha practice is very important because it results in great sort of mental stability. Indian master Shandadewa, great teacher, said a practitioner who has good foundation in shamatha and vipaśyanā meditation will totally eliminate all negative emotions. The moment you are relaxed and undisturbed by thoughts and emotions, you attain perfect stability. So you can reach this state at any time. Just look at your own mind, and the moment you look, there is nothing to see and nothing to hold. So that's the thing. Don't look for anything else. Let it be. Let it be. relaxed. Sometimes people think when you look at your nature mind, you see something amazing thing. That's not true. The thing is, let it be and relax. Keep letting go of thoughts when they arise. And by practicing in this way, each and every thought will disappear into your nature. That is the beauty part. When you remain relaxed and let your thoughts come and go without grasping, without thinking about them actually, and without following them, you are truly meditating shamatha. Maharaj said that there are many ways you can practice shamatha. Shamatha can be established through different methods. But essentially, they're all included in mindfulness and awareness. During the beginning stages of your practice, you have to be mindful and not follow after your thoughts. Exercising mindfulness is the only effort you need to make in shamatha meditation. So your mind remains totally focused and continues pay attention to the main focus of the meditation. Tibetan teachers say that if you throw a stick at a dog, the dog chases the stick. But if you throw a stick at a lion, the lion goes after you and gets you. When your thought arises, do not chase it, but look directly at the thought itself and discover the true face of your Buddha. So means like you need to practice like a lion, not like a dog. And when you practice like this, no matter how powerful a thought might be, it cannot disturb you. Instead, you will discover the true nature of your Buddha. Therefore, you have to continuously recognize and pay attention your distractions. That is why your awareness is important. You see, I'm talking a little bit about like mindfulness and awareness. When you have accomplished shamatha in this way, then teachers say that the 5 meditation experience of shamatha will arise. And when your mind is workable and it becomes clear and settles on any object of your choice, it makes also your body comfortable. And then the mind and body are experiencing joy and bliss. Because of that, there is a genuine happiness that you experience. Maharaj said that By the strength of the merit of practice in shamatha with focus on the form of the Buddha and remembering his kindness, and through that connection and the Buddha's blessings, you will come to see the Buddha. Either as a vision or in your dreams. So you will receive all sorts of different good experience and qualities will arise in your mind. Maharaj said that that is the benefit of practice in shamatha by focus on the Buddha. That's why we're focused on the Buddha this time. If you take a different object of your for your shamatha meditation, you can, like candle, like flowers, like your breath, like breathe in and out, focus on that. There are so many other things, like, you can do that, but you don't get that benefit, the blessing from a candle, from a flower. The benefit of Buddha's blessing, it's amazing, right? So that's the difference. You might, if you today meditate on shamatha, focus on Buddha's picture, form, the image, tonight maybe you have a dream about it. Because mind is so powerful. So that's the difference. I just wanted to let you know that. Now, this is how you meditate on shamatha. You place your attention one-pointedly on an object of focus and try to remain with single-pointed attention, focused on the clear image. And then you sustain that image continuously without becoming distracted by anything else. And whenever any distraction arises, either gross or subtle, you should recognize it immediately with your awareness, if you can. And settle your attention once again on the object of focus. Don't be satisfied with some sort of slight calmness of your mind. Instead, you have to be aware even of the most subtle distractions and rest in one-point concentration. You're very focused, right? One-point concentration is like you're 100% there. One time, a few monks went on a retreat and meditated on shamatha. Of course, they had some good experience of shamatha, and they thought they really established shamatha meditation and came back to the monastery and told their teacher about it. But teachers told them, not yet. So what I'm saying is being satisfied with some experience, some good experience, doesn't mean you reached your goal. My teacher told us one time, one practitioner, had good experience from practice, and then satisfied with practice, and then just didn't practice anymore, and then losing everything. So you have to practice just continuously, That is the very difficult part, right? Continuously. But good thing is, if you do this, eventually you will establish your shamatha practice. And Muhammad said that if you experience also like fatigue and lack enthusiasm for your meditation, then it's important, like reflect on the qualities of Buddhas and the benefit of your meditation, which arise through the power of shamatha. Doing this generate enthusiasm for your practice. But not always. Sometimes, like when you have a strong emotion and you try to meditate, it will not work. Sometimes you meditate shamatha, focus on object or mind, it will not work. Then you try to many different methods, say mantras, say, prayers, and none of them, It's just this emotion is too powerful. We need lots of methods, options. You like options because that's why we have a lot of options. So this kind of situation, what should we do? Like this happens all the time, though. Like your thoughts or negative thoughts or very strong emotion in your mind, and then you try to find something like antidote, but none of them work. So teachers say, mindfulness can be a good practice in that situation. When we say mindfulness is huge, though. There are at least 4 kinds of mindfulness practice, right? Mindfulness of body, mindfulness of feeling, mindfulness of mind, mindfulness of dharma or phenomena, 4 at least. So what I'm trying to say is like when your emotions are strong and really overwhelming, practice mindfulness can help calm your overwhelming emotions. So you can just focus on how something, feeling, the mindfulness of feelings. Feeling, when we talk about feelings, there are so many different kinds of feelings, right? So you practice feelings, mindfulness. You feel your body, touch, go on walk, be mindful of your movements or your breathing. These are kind of like include feeling, like mindfulness. So then your emotion, the overwhelming emotion, little bit cool down from doing this kind of mindfulness practice. Then your mind will be ready to practice shamatha. And people say, I practice shamatha, but sometimes doesn't work. What should I do? So that time, mindfulness, especially like mindfulness of feeling. So shamatha is a little bit deeper, I think, little bit deeper meditation than like mindfulness of feeling. Generally speaking, meditation has 2 aspects. trying to calm your mind is the first. And looking deeply to transform is the second. So when you have overwhelming emotions, you should use the first method. Okay, the first method is trying to focus your attention on the breath, for instance, or focus on the Buddha's image. Try to not think of anything, breathe deeply in and out through your kind of like your whole body, or just to focus on the Buddha's image, or just to focus on your mind, and try to not think anything. Practice in this way for 5 or 10 minutes, and then maybe the strong emotions will lose kind of like power, Then you are ready to focus on the second method. The second method is investigating your emotion, which is actually developing your vipaśyanā. Now you will have a little bit sort of room to acknowledge your emotion. When your emotion is so overwhelming, if you use the first method, it doesn't work. So first you need to identify what kind of emotions you are feeling. Then you should investigate the cause of that emotion. And by doing this, you will be more prepared the next time. The emotions arise and it becomes easier. And you will be able to more easily identify the emotion and its cause. And then you will be able to apply the appropriate antidote. So this is kind of like Mahayana way to practice Vipassana, deal with the negative emotions. The Dzogchen way is to look deeply into your emotion to transform. It is to discover the true nature of that emotion, which is that emotion doesn't exist as a negative emotion. If you can do that, you will be able to transform the emotion right away through Dzogchen practice. That is the best and easiest way to control your negative emotions when they arise at the beginning. People like this practice because of easy, profound. For instance, when you are attached to something, you just look at the sort of like directly into the attachment, the nature of attachment. It's kind of like very fun, actually. It's just like your attachment is so strong, but if you can do this through this practice, like your attachment can like transform into something you don't feel is like attachment, So then attachment is just kind of dissolved or transformed, whatever. No more. Nothing is there. And then you just stay there, relax there. So people like this practice, right? That's another kind of like way of practice Vipassana. And another good technique is to learn from others who have experience in working with their emotions. Therefore, like new people, like people want to practice preliminaries, I always told them, like, you should ask these other people who are already finished their preliminary. They have lots of experience. I don't have that experience because, like most of you are like very busy with work, but at the same time, you can do this. So you should ask, like other people who have experience in working with their kind of like emotions. It's very good. Therefore, we should learn to practice the way our teachers practiced and let go of their own sort of like emotions. So I think you should also know that your goal is not achieve enlightenment, but help others. You have to really remember that. There is very good Shantideva says that you should know that whether you achieve enlightenment or not, your purpose is to help other beings. So that means it doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as you practice cultivating love and compassion and try to help others. That's why Shantideva wrote this beautiful bodhisattva prayer. We always say, for as long as space exists, for as long as beings endure, until then may I to remain to dispel the suffering of all other beings. When we talk about the benefit of others, it is through showing them the path and helping them understand what is to be given up, what is to be practiced. Lang tor in Tibet, lang tor. This is how we can help other beings. That's why we have to teach. That's why teaching others is so important when you have capacity. Therefore, you should think about it. I really want some good teachers, establish some good teacher. Becoming a teacher is not for fame, not for good reputation, and so on and so forth, but it is for those who are suffering from ignorance and negative emotions. You really can't imagine, like lots of people are suffering from emotions, but they have no idea what to do with it. Many, many years like that, no idea, because they have no opportunity to receive correct, like proper teachings. They have no interest, so they're suffering all the way from emotion. So therefore, keep in mind how to help. You received lots of teachings from, even from me, and what to do with these teachings. Are you going to die with it? Nothing. You are not going to use it. Once you use it, then your life is meaningful. Now again, when first practicing shamatha, rest your mind using the image of the Buddha's form as a physical sort of object. And when you practice in this way, many, many times using the image of his form, many, many times, do not think that this is too much, I wish he can teach us like different methods. We have to use many, many times shamatha, the Buddha's, this picture, the image, will still arise as a mental object on which you rest your mind. The Buddha's body appears vividly in your mind, even without any sport as the form. Mahambuchi said, at first, this form vividly and steadily as an object of your mind, like a reflection in a mirror. Then, as you familiarize yourself with it more and more, deeper and deeper, it manifests as an object of your senses as well. Like something that is actually present and still. If you continue to practice and familiarize yourself with it furthermore, then the image you are focusing on becomes touchable. Maharaj said that. I don't know, right? I believe it. So first, clarity appears as a mental object. Then the second is an object of the senses. And then third is an object of touch. So I think it's true, but it takes a long time to get there. My teacher, I think this is true because, my teacher, Anzam Dukur Rinpoche, when he meditated on Shamatha, the second Anzam Dukur Rinpoche, the first time he visualized a feather on tip of his nose for a while, like there is instruction, Shamatha instruction, the first Anzam Dukur Rinpoche. So you use the feather or a syllable or whatever, but he used the feather for the Shamatha object. Then he found a real pigeon's feather. He focused on that. The first one was like visualization, right? The second time he found the real, like pigeon's feather. And he focused on that. After some time meditated, he could actually make feather go out and return to the tip of his nose. Many students saw that. I mean, he's Anzam Dukur Rinpoche, so it's his capacity, but, actually, I think we can do it if we have enough. Similarly, there was a story, the fourth Dzogchen Rinpoche, Dzogchen Monastery, Dzogchen, the abbot of Dzogchen Monastery, Dzogchen Rinpoche, called Mingyur Namkha Dorji, very famous Dzogchen master. When he was training in Shamatha by practicing the Hong syllable, Tibetan masters using the object, using the syllables, like A syllable, Hong syllable, like that, these instructions. And he experienced everything was disappeared into the Hong syllable. And everything was appeared in the aspect of Hong syllable. Like that. It's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. If you practice Shamatha using Buddha's image, for sure you have a dream about it. And then, furthermore, familiarize with it, and then you will see him. But we have to practice a lot. We don't have this kind of experience. It's because, we don't practice enough, I think. My uncle was a great meditator. He was a great, he was a very good friend of Kanchen Pamatsewa. One time he told me that he loves talk about Dzogchen teachings, and when we talk about he meditate like go on retreat 100 days every year. So he told me that when he meditated on shamatha using the image of a tiger, this picture, like he has a big tiger, picture. He focused on that. He felt it was like moving, when he look at it, the tiger, he focused on it. He really felt like it's moving, It's like kind of like coming towards him, But he said when he focused on the Buddha's image, he didn't find nothing, like nothing. It's totally different, like the Buddha's image didn't move at all, and he thought, oh, it is because he had so much negative karma. That's why, But yeah, like it's. I think it's if you really focus on it, a shamatha and using the object. I think eventually, like you can feel like that, moving, and then eventually touchable like that. Anyway, when meditation with perfect concentration and familiarization, your capacity can give rise to such appearance for sure. Okay, believe in that. Okay, otherwise you cannot do it. But that's not the point. The point is like how to relax your mind, and through that you can you can develop your great foundation. That's all. Mindfulness, awareness is part of shamatha. Mindfulness, awareness, you need a good balance. Not too tight, not too loose. With that, you can do very good shamatha, practice shamatha. We are very fortunate. Lots of people have no opportunity to receive great instructions, teachings, and really suffering from ignorance, very strong emotions, negative thoughts, develop that every single day more and more, no idea what to do with it. So therefore, I'm saying like, we can see, we can hear, we can understand, we have all this capacity. So this is a wonderful opportunity. So we need, the thing is we need enthusiasm, strong motivation and desire, practice further and further, deeper and deeper, so that you will see all this worldly life is kind of like not so important, means like it's totally fine with whatever you have, but you're more sort of like have this strong motivation and desire to practice. That is we call renunciation. Renunciation. And never forget bodhicitta. Up and down, life is up and down. Happiness and unhappiness. But bodhicitta can help you when you are very happy, Most people waste your happiness. When you are very suffering, most people waste it. Bodhisattva can help you. When you are very happy, you feel that you want to dedicate that happiness to all other beings. When you are suffering or, unhappy, Bodhisattva can help you bring all that kind of situation and free from all other beings from suffering. So I think to me it's like Bodhisattva is more important than Dzogchen practice. Bodhisattva is more important than Shamatha practice. Vipashyana, all of that. It's like directly, like right away, you can feel, you can see the benefit. That's why I like it so much. Now again, meditation for a few minutes, please. Same thing. We're going to say the supplication prayers, the blessing supplication prayers, Buddha Shakyamuni supplication prayers with the mantra and with visualization. This is same. You visualize Buddha and bodhisattvas in front of you, surrounding all this lineage, and then you say the prayer, and then you relax right there for a little bit, and then you can begin the actual practice of shamatha meditation. Follow and again Mahamudra Rinpoche's instructions, which is focused on the Buddha's image. And one more important is don't let yourself go to any thought other than the object of Buddha's image, the wisdom body. We call it wisdom body. And you just look at it without any thoughts, any judgment. And when we say this, you can't do it, but your thoughts rise, that's totally fine. But just remember the mindfulness, and without try to, lose it, distractions, as much as you can. That's your shamatha practice. So if you can focus on the image of Buddha without thought for 5 minutes would be very good. Some people say they can do that even like 10 minutes. That's wonderful. So we're going to practice 10 minutes, okay? 10 minutes. And the first time you have like these visualizations in front of you, Buddha, but when you do the actual meditation of shamatha, you don't have to think anything about this visualization. Just don't worry about it, what happened, the dissolves and these things, you don't have to worry about it. I will tell you this why, but now you just visualize, and then we say the mantra, and then you just look at whatever you pick the object, you look at it, and then you see your mind. Sometimes you see your mind like a stone. There's nothing, you just... Sometimes you have a full of thoughts there and you just can't focus. It's just fun, it's just... different people have different experience with their even like focus on one thing. It's just amazing. But don't worry your thoughts, just don't too tight, don't too loose. That's the very good instructions. Never forget that. Ready? With your great compassion, embrace this turbulence and degenerate world. Amid 590 aspirations, you are as exalted as a king. Whoever hears your name shall never return to samsara. Most compassionate teacher, to you I pay homage. Om Mani Mani Mahamanaya Soha. Grant your blessings so that I realize primordial purity as the true nature. Grant your blessings so that I recognize whatever arises my own mind. Grant your blessings so that I liberate delusion into its own natural state. Grant your blessings so that I increase my meditative stability continuously. Grant your blessings so that I actually align